Liverpool transfer window heats up, Diaz, Nunez, and Konate linked with exits as Reds target Isaak, Ekitiké and more.
Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitiké. What's the very latest?
Yeah, Vicky, take two for this one. I can tell you this lunchtime, this is a bit of a convoluted story here involving two strikers and two clubs, but we do expect Liverpool to rival Newcastle United in their attempts to sign Hugo Ekitiké from Eintracht Frankfurt. That is after this morning Liverpool were told by Newcastle United that Alexander Isak is not for sale this transfer window. Now we know that Liverpool, Arsenal as well, have a long-standing interest in Isaak, and who would not. 62 goals over his 3-year spell here at St James's Park. Liverpool very much like the striker, but they've been told that he is not for sale, and Newcastle value Isaak at upwards of £150 million. So they are desperate to hold on to him this window. He's got 3 years left in his contract. Newcastle are in a very strong position. As a result of that, we can tell you that Liverpool will rival Newcastle now in Newcastle's attempts to sign Ekitiké from Eintracht Frankfurt. I told you earlier on this morning that Newcastle had a £70 million bid turned down by Frankfurt for the French forward. That would represent a club record for Newcastle, £70 million. Ironically, the club record is held by Alexander Isak, who signed here at St James's Park 3 years ago for £63 million. So expect Liverpool now to come to the table in the race for Hugo Ekitiké. And we said earlier that Frankfurt felt that there were a couple of clubs at the table, not just Newcastle. They felt that there was one or two clubs willing to spend more than the £70 million that Newcastle had offered and seen turned down. So look, a very delicate situation, quite a convoluted transfer. Liverpool would like either of the two strikers. They don't have either of them. Newcastle would like both, and they've only currently got one. Let's see what happens, but a very interesting story, and I'm sure this is not the last we have heard of this one. Newcastle have their £70 million approach for Hugo Ekitiké turned down, and Liverpool have now been told that Alexander Isak is not for sale, and they will rival Newcastle United in an attempt to bring Hugo Ekitiké to the English Premier League.